Welcome to another episode of Way Out Wednesday. My name is Dr. Ashley Southard, and I'm with the New Beginning Outpatient Treatment Center and the Healthy Way Out Emotional and Binge Eating Program, both located in Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, this month's videos are dedicated to helping you resist the temptation to diet in the new year. Instead, if you're working on trying to heal from emotional and binge eating, we know that you have to take a different non-dieting approach. Now, in the last two videos, I talked about the emotional aspect of your relationship with food and the nutritional aspect of your relationship with food, helping you understand how you've got to get to the emotional root of why you're overeating and how to legalize all foods in your day-to-day eating. Now, today I want to talk about a third component that we utilize in our approach to helping people find true, lasting freedom from food, and that is focusing on the physical movement aspect. Now, for most people, when they go on a diet, they often try to set up a pretty hardcore, rigid exercise routine. I've heard clients talk about how, they haven't worked out in a couple of months, but starting on Monday, they're going to start running 3 miles a day, 5 days a week. Or they're going to implement some type of plan for a pretty long period of time. They're going to implement movement that maybe they don't like, but they know it's going to get them weight loss. Well, on paper, that might sound like a really good plan. And when you're planning it, it sounds very doable. But when push comes to shove and it's actually time to implement that rigid, hardcore exercise routine, as you've probably experienced time and time again, it's not going to last that long for most people. So here at The Healthy Way Out, we have adopted a completely different approach to exercise, and it's something we call intuitive movement. Now, for those of you who are familiar with intuitive eating, you might be familiar with these principles. So intuitive eating is based on the notion that you eat when you're hungry, you stop when you're satisfied, you eat all foods in moderation, and you eat both for nutrition and pleasure. So we take those same principles and we apply them to movement. You move when your body is wanting to move, you stop when your body is tired or ready to be done, you engage in movements of all types, and you do movement that is both good for your body and also good for your soul. So intuitive movement has a lot of flexibility and a lot of diversity in it. So for example, rather than committing to running 3 miles 5 days a week, intuitive movement is really going to look at all different types of movement that you enjoy and things that you can do based on your lifestyle, your energy levels, your time availability, different things like that. So for example, a week of intuitive movement might look like this. Maybe on Mondays, you tend to be dragging a little bit after a really busy weekend, but you know that you need a little bit of movement to get things going. So maybe on Monday, you start off with a beautiful sunrise walk, a quiet meditative time for yourself to refocus, get clear on what you want to accomplish that week, and just get your week off to a great start. Now, maybe on Tuesday, you hang out with a friend at work and you guys decide that you want to go hit some tennis balls after work. That would be a great option for intuitive movement. Now, maybe Wednesday comes along and your allergies have been killing you and the last thing you want to do is move. You just want to go home and rest. Well, intuitive movement would say, even if you had plans to move that day, if your body is saying, please give me rest, then you give yourself rest. And then maybe on Thursday, you're really in the mood to be around other people and get a really good, solid workout in. So you go to the gym and you attend one of their cardio classes where you're with other people, you feel your blood pumping, and it's a great workout. And then maybe on Friday, you end the week with a great family bike ride with your partner or your children or even your neighbors, and you just have a great time laughing and moving at the same time. That's what a week of intuitive movement would look like. There's a lot of flexibility and there's a lot of diversity. And this is really important to prevent burnout and boredom, which typically is what will get people to stop their exercise routine. Now, I have a little tip for you about how you can start to create an intuitive exercise routine that will work for you. Because it's so flexible and diverse, everybody's intuitive movement routine is going to be different. So here's the tip that I want you to think about. I want you to use the 5 W's when putting together movement that will work for you. And the 5 W's are who, What, when, where, and why. So here's how we do this. The first thing is, if you're thinking about movement for maybe today or even this upcoming week, who do you feel like working out with? Well, there are probably days where you really want to be by yourself. I know sometimes I just want to be left alone. I want to put my headphones in and I just want to tune out and really just do my own thing. And then there are other days where I'm really in the mood to be around people. So check in with yourself. Who do you want to be around? Are you in the mood to be alone? Are you in the mood to actually be socializing and interacting, like maybe playing a game of tennis? Or are you in the mood to be around people, but not necessarily interacting? Maybe a workout class at the gym. The next W is what. What type of movement are you in the mood for today? Are you in the mood for something that is really intense or something that's really gentle? Are you in the mood for something where you're sitting or something where you're standing? What type of movement are you really looking for? Pay attention to what your muscles are longing for, what your organs are longing for, and see if you can tune into that. The next W is when. When in the day do you want to move? Now, this is going to be different for everybody, and I know there's a lot of advice out there about when you should move, but that's really not what matters. What matters is what's going to work for you, because if you do what works for you, you're probably going to stick with it a whole heck of a lot longer than trying to defy your own rhythm and your own schedule. So think about when today or tomorrow is the best time for you to move, and that might even vary for you from day to day. There might be some days where you're just really feeling energized in the morning and you want to start your day off with some movement. There might be other days where you're really looking for a break in the middle of the work that you're doing and you want to go for a walk at lunchtime or in the mid-afternoon. For some people, they find that they actually enjoy movement to help them unwind from a long day. So maybe after work or after your day is over, before bedtime is when you want to move. So think about when for you is the best time and go with that. Now, the next W is where. Where do you feel like moving today or tomorrow? Do you want to be outdoors or indoors? Now, here in Arizona in the summertime, we tend to opt for indoors. If you're in Chicago right now in January, you may opt for indoors as well. But when the weather is beautiful, you probably want to be outdoors. So think about where you want to work out. And even within the indoor and outdoor, what type of environment are you wanting? If you stay indoors, are you wanting to be home in your own space? Do you want to get out and be around other people? If you're outdoors, is that going to be a track at a school where you run around, or is it just going to be out in nature doing a gentle walk? What's going to work for you and fill up your soul? And the last question is why? Why do you want to move? What exactly are you wanting to get out of this? If you're in the mood for a meditative walk to clear your mind and focus on something, then that's the kind of movement you want to go for. If you're wanting to reconnect with nature, then you want to find some movement outdoors. If you're wanting to really feel your blood pumping and your heart racing and really feel that strong, healthy feeling, then a more vigorous exercise is probably what you're looking for. So think about the why. Why are you wanting to move today? If you can go through the 5 W's and figure out all of those different experiences that you want to have in your movement, I guarantee you're going to be able to put together a really sound, intuitive movement routine that's going to work for you. So rather than putting together some prefabricated, rigid plan that dictates exactly what you're going to do when, regardless of your energy level, regardless of your time constraints, and regardless of what you're in the mood for, try to be more flexible with yourself. Try to incorporate a lot of different types of movement so it stays interesting and engaging. I hope that these tips are really helpful for you and that maybe you can start implementing them this week, starting to enjoy movement of all types, because you know what? Every little bit helps, right? Okay, have a great week. I will be back here one last time in January next week to round out our conversation about how to resist the temptation to diet and instead approach this new year with a new approach. Take care. I'll see you soon.